Hello, and a warm welcome to Reddit Echo. When you're deployed, the night becomes your workplace. Your senses sharpen, the world shrinks to the circle of your night vision, and the mundane rules of daytime no longer apply. In Kosovo, my team were ghosts in the machine. Our mission was reconnaissance, slipping through the darkness to gather intelligence, moving with a purpose that required absolute stealth. We were a tight-knit unit of 4 professionals, trained to notice everything and believe only what we could confirm. On this particular night, the mission was straightforward. Intel suggested shipments of mortars and mines were moving through a remote corridor. We were to infiltrate, observe, and exfiltrate before first light, covering over 17 kilometers of rugged terrain. The conditions were almost too perfect. A near-full moon bathed the landscape in an ethereal silver light, turning the world into a high-contrast photograph. To make it a training exercise, we brought 3 new guys along, swelling our number to 7. I took my usual position as rear security, the team's eyes in the back of its head. My partner, let's call him L, was just ahead of me. We were a well-oiled machine, communicating with glances and hand signals, trusted to keep our team safe from any threat that might be following in the shadows. We moved like wraiths for 10 kilometers. The terrain was forgiving, and we made excellent time, but found no sign of the weapons shipments. It was time to turn towards our extraction point, which lay beyond a large hill and skirted the edge of a distant village. We regrouped for a quick head count and gear check, then moved out. As the last man, I took a final scan of our back trail before stepping off. That's when I heard it. A soft crack in the trees, about 50 meters to our rear. I froze. A glance forward confirmed L had heard it too. He was already turned, his weapon subtly angled toward the sound. The rest of the team, with the new guys focused forward, continued moving, unaware. We were being left behind. Professional protocol took over. It was probably an animal a deer, a wild boar. But could be doesn't cut it in our line of work. Elle and I initiated a bounding overwatch, leapfrogging each other to cover our retreat while keeping eyes on the threat. The noise persisted, keeping pace. I signaled for Elle to sprint and catch the team while I held position. I melted into the shadows next to a fallen log, my breathing controlled, my senses screaming. I heard the rustle again, closer this time. 15 meters out, I saw the branches of a young pine tree sway against the gentle wind. Something was right there. For 2 agonizing minutes, I didn't move a muscle. Then, I heard the faint, skilled movements of my team flanking the position. They moved in, a net of steel closing around the source of the noise. I advanced to join them. There was nothing. No footprints, no broken twigs, no disturbed earth. Nothing. The teasing began immediately, good-natured but relentless. The seasoned pros spooked by the wind. We laughed it off, reorganized, and continued the march. The incident was filed away as a strange blip. We covered another 2 kilometers, arriving at the edge of an old, sprawling orchard. The trees were widely spaced, their gnarled limbs casting long, skeletal shadows in the brilliant moonlight. It was an ideal place for an ambush, so we moved with extra caution, using the trunks for cover as we navigated through the center. Just as I was about to step into the neat rows of trees, I heard it again. But this time, it wasn't a crack. It was a sound that froze the blood in my veins. A child's giggle. Light, playful, and utterly, terrifyingly out of place. This wasn't the grunt of an animal or the footfall of a soldier. This was a little girl. Ahead of me, Elle had paused about 20 meters into the orchard and turned, waiting for my signal. I moved to my next cover position, crouching low beside a thick, ancient tree trunk. He moved out again. I was alone. My eyes scanned the monochrome landscape, searching for any movement. And that's when the tree itself caught my eye. In the knotted, weathered bark of the trunk beside me, the patterns began to shift. The shadows and grooves coalesced, forming the unmistakable image of a face. Not a carved face, but a living one, rendered in wood grain and moonlight. It was a little girl. She had wide, dark eyes and a small, smiling mouth. As I stared, paralyzed, she turned her head within the bark, smiled directly at me, gave a tiny, friendly wave with a hand that seemed to form from the wood itself, and let out another soft, clear giggle. Then, she was gone. The tree was just a tree again. My mind recoiled. This wasn't fear of an enemy combatant. This was a primal, cognitive terror. I had just witnessed the impossible. There was no way I could report this. I'd be pulled from duty, labeled as unstable. So, I did the only thing I could. I broke protocol, stood up, and ran. I didn't stop until I caught up with Elle, my heart hammering against my ribs. I said nothing. For 2 weeks, I carried the secret like a stone in my gut. I was reassigned to provide security for a team of combat engineers, clearing a minefield in another sector. A grim, but blessedly normal task. My team, meanwhile, was scheduled to return to the very same area where Elle and I had our episode. The jokes were still flying. I was quietly relieved to be going elsewhere. The mission with the engineers was a success. We found and destroyed mines laid in a path used by local children, a stark reminder of the very real, human evil we were there to combat. I returned to base, feeling accomplished and grounded. I finally had a chance to retreat to my barracks room, a rare luxury. I had just taken my boots off when the door burst open. The team was back, and they were in high spirits, laughing and shoving each other. Everyone except Elle. He looked pale, shaken. He was telling everyone to shut up, his usual good humor gone. One of the guys spotted me. "Hey, Elle says he isn't going on patrol with us anymore in your favorite spot." I just shook my head, saying nothing. The room eventually calmed down. A couple of days later, Elle and I were on a simple Overwatch mission together. The silence between us was heavy. Finally, he spoke, his voice low and serious. "What did you see that night?" I stuck to my story. "I don't know. Just my imagination getting the better of me." He looked me dead in the eye, and his next words sent an ice-cold jolt through my entire body. "I know you saw her. I saw her too. Tell me I'm not crazy." The relief and the terror hit me simultaneously. I felt numb. "You're not crazy," I whispered. "Where did you see her?" His reply confirmed a shared reality that defied all explanation. Inside a tree. He had been 40 meters away from me in that orchard. He couldn't have seen my face, couldn't have known what I was looking at. There were no words exchanged, no shared hallucinations. We had both independently witnessed the same impossible entity, a little girl living within the wood of a tree, in the dead of night, in a war-torn country. We never spoke of it again. There was no need. The experience bonded us in a way that went deeper than any combat mission ever could. We adventured into the professional darkness and found something else waiting there, something ancient, playful, and utterly beyond our understanding. Was it a spirit of the land, a manifestation of trauma from the conflict, or something else entirely? I have no answers. But in a place defined by man-made violence and death, we had a shared encounter with a phenomenon that was neither hostile nor malevolent, just present. It was a reminder that the world is far stranger than any training manual can prepare you for, and that some mysteries, especially those that giggle in the dark, are meant to be carried in silence.
Don't want to lose this channel and always be up to date with new videos? Then make sure to subscribe. The story continues, and it's only getting more interesting.